What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I've got an early review of the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 Inertia.
Perfect.
I hate that I'm saying this because I didn't want to spend another $300 on a pair of sneakers, but I really like these in hand. Huge shout out to my friend Edwin for looking out for me on a pair of these. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. And also thank you to J&M Sneakers for supplying a pair of these early. They're awesome, they're in Queens. They're actually right next to where I used to live. So if you want to check them out, make sure to click the link to their Instagram in the description below. As a lot of you know, the 700 has always been a silhouette that I've really liked, even since the original Waverunner. I actually pre-ordered that pair and I've always really liked the way that sneaker looks. In fact, I even think I'd say that I like the V1 over the V2 because I think the styling is just more interesting. That being said, this sneaker is very expensive with a retail price of $300 US, so I wouldn't pick up a pair unless you're really in love with it. If you are in love with it, you can grab a pair this Saturday on March 9th. So why don't we dive right into the review of the latest Yeezy 700 drop. Although the Inertia colorway of the 700 V1s shares the same paneling and overall silhouette as the Waverunners and Mauves, because of its more monochromatic color blocking, it really does look like it has almost a different form. You can really say the same thing about the Salt colorway that recently released, and I think it's true for any shoe that has a one color or monochromatic looking upper. I think it has a more cohesive look. So when you look at the shoe, you really get a sense of its overall shape rather than the different colorways and different panels that make up the shoe. That's definitely a good thing for someone who likes a more muted look and likes their shoes to sort of fade into the background rather than pop out at you immediately. Not to say this sneaker doesn't have pop, because it absolutely does, but this shoe isn't going to shout at you the way that the Waverunner or some of the really colorful 350s do. Jumping right into the upper, this sneaker shares the same paneling as the rest of the V1s, obviously, except this time around you have sort of a light gray or almost bluish gray suede panel around the toe. Moving up from that panel, you've got a very similarly colored padded mesh that sort of peeks out between the other suede panels on the upper of the shoe. This mesh unfortunately doesn't do much for breathability, but it doesn't look bad, so I guess that's the most important thing. Now that I'm actually looking at the shoe up close, it does kind of look like the mesh varies in color between the center panel and the side panel right here. It looks like the center panel is more of a whitish gray and the side panel is more of a bluish gray like the suede. Continuing back on the sneaker, you've got this sort of bluish dark gray suede panel that kind of outlines some of the other mesh panels. One thing that I really didn't notice until I got this shoe in hand is how blue this upper is. It's really not something that you see online. When you see pictures, it really just looks like a standard gray. But when you get it in hand, there's a lot of blue hues throughout the entire upper of the sneaker. And actually, that's the one thing I really wasn't sure of online. I didn't like the tones that they used. But now that I'm seeing it in person and really getting some of these blue hues, I'm really starting to like it, which is not a good thing because I definitely didn't want to hold on to this shoe, but now I'm torn. Continuing up the shoe, you've got this leather panel that also houses the eyelets for the laces, and it also comes in this sort of light bluish gray. Weaving through the eyelets, you've got your standard Yeezy 700 laces that of course also come in gray. Underneath the laces, you've got probably the bluest hit on the entire shoe, and that's this light blue mesh tongue. Moving inside the sneaker, you've got this gray mesh sock liner that is very well padded and feels great on your foot, but once again, it does get pretty hot. You've got the small Yeezy tag printed next to the size tag on the inside of the shoe, and is actually one of the only Yeezy tags on the entire sneaker except for the insole. Speaking of the insole, it comes in light gray with very light blue text, which is really difficult to read, that says Adidas, Yeezy, and Ortholite. As for fit, the Yeezy 700 V1 fits me pretty much true to size. Some people have said that it fits like a 350 V2 and that you should go up half a size, but in my opinion, because of the wider toe box, I think it fits fine true to size. So if you're a wide footer, maybe go up half a size, or if you like a slightly looser fit, then again, go up half a size. But as I always suggest, if you have a chance to try on the shoe first before you buy it, make sure to do that to make sure the fit is right for you. Continuing back on the sneaker, you've got your light gray mesh panel in the midfoot, and as you probably already know, there are some 3M Adidas 3 stripes hidden underneath this mesh, so when you hit it with a flash, they pop out at you. Continuing even farther back on the shoe, you've got another light gray suede panel, this time around with these cutouts to these 3M hits. Just above that, around the ankle, you've got this really wide gray mesh that actually wraps all the way around the heel of the shoe. And then on the heel of the sneaker, you've got more suede panels with these circular cutouts to 3M accents. Moving down on the sneaker, you get to the heavily sculpted midsole, which might actually be my favorite part. A majority of the midsole comes in this sort of medium or darker gray that matches the suede and leather panels on the upper of the shoe. Of course, you've got your orange 3M hits, which is a nice callback to the original Waverunner, and I'm really glad they added this because it really makes the heel of the sneaker pop. Towards the front of the shoe, you've got this sort of ink spill motif that you have in all the other V1s. This time around, however, it comes in sort of a lighter gray. Encased inside the midsole, you've got this almost full-length boost layer that makes this sneaker incredibly comfortable underfoot. And then finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this sort of cream or light yellow colored outsole. As with the other 700s, you've got these punch outs that you can see through to the boost, which I think is a nice and very organic looking touch. Overall, the 700 Inertia is actually a really nice looking sneaker. And that's not something I thought that I would say, especially when I was seeing the sneaker online. But once I got it in hand and really got a feel for the colorway and sort of this almost light blue upper, I'm really starting to like it. And that kind of sucks because I'm dropping like 300 bucks a week on Yeezys now. They keep releasing Yeezys. Just take a break, guys. Just like relax. I know there's like 4 colorways coming up in the next month, but just relax for a second. Once again, the Yeezy 700 Inertia drops this Saturday, March 9th for 300 bucks. But that pretty much wraps up the video for today. Now, I would love to know your thoughts on the Yeezy 700 Inertia and whether it's a sneaker that you're planning to pick up on Saturday, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. Once again, huge thank you to Edwin and J&M Sneakers. Links to both of them will be in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.